What's up everybody, my name is Taylor and Joyo sent me out a bunch of pedals to demo for you guys, and I thought, you know, we haven't done a rip it or skip it in a long time. And even though there are plural pedals, so it's rip them or skip them, that doesn't have the same ring to it. We're just gonna call it rip or skip it. We have a bunch of different pedals here. We have a Joyo Rigel Preamp. I don't know how to say that one. We have a Chopper Z. This is a distortion, looks like with a fat boost built into it and a gate. That could be fun. And then we have an Argos Overdrive over here. This one you can actually pop a 9-volt into the back of. Haven't seen that in a long time. And then we have a Dark Flame distortion pedal down here on the end. And then this pedal is not a Joyo pedal. This is just what I'm gonna be using to power my cabinet. That's gonna be powering this Bogner slant cab that has vintage 30s in it. It's mic'd up with an 𝗦𝗦 Electronics X1A microphone. There is no post-production happening at all here, now. We're just gonna listen to some raw tones and then I'll tell you at the end of the video whether I think you should rip it or skip it. This is one thing that I do really like about the Joyo pedals is they're a lot different than your typical pedal, man. I mean, the housing and everything, they have these cool lights. Does that mean you should rip it? Not necessarily. First things first, we have this Rigel preamp and I'm going to use that with this Argos Overdrive. We have the Argos Overdrive off right now. We're just gonna hear how this preamp sounds. We have some dip switches here. Everything's new more or less. Let's just go over the dip switches first. Preamp pedal sounds pretty good. Let's go over these different feel switches here. So we have 3 modes on the feel switch. This is the first one. The bottom one has more bass. I'm gonna stick this on the bottom mode here because this just sounds a little bit fatter to me. A little bit more modern, you know what I'm saying? Let's go here to the second switch, which is our mod. So basically up all the way just sounds like no mod. And then as we go down, I actually like this one in the middle. Sounds a little bit tighter, like more percussive. I like it. It's a little bit more aggressive in the middle. And then we have, at the end, we just have a bright switch. So here's with the bright switch off. On. That's just the preamp sound. So just before it starts getting like really aggressive with the gain, and we will boost it here. You can see the way that I have this set. Now, this has a gate in it as well, so that's kind of nice. Okay, we have some different attack modes here, and I actually just like this all the way back. I feel like anything else, it actually just like cuts out too much of the signal. And that's actually with no drive. Here, let's go back even further on this. We're gonna compensate on the preamp pedal by boosting the low end a little bit here, and then we're actually gonna turn this gain up to about there. Okay, so to me, this sounds a lot like a precision drive. It seems to have the same functionality of a precision drive. So there you go. If you're looking for a budget precision drive, the Joyo Argos probably got you covered there. Let's try a different pedal into the front of this preamp, one of these distortions. We're gonna turn the drive way down here. See where that puts us with the preamp pedal. Sounds like that might be an okay platform for a distortion pedal. Okay, so now we have the Joyo Dark Flame plugged into the Rigel preamp pedal. That's the preamp sound. I really like this preamp pedal so far. You can do a lot with it, and it like actually does feel pretty good. Now we are using the Dark Flame pedal. We're just using this as a preamp. It's not bad. It's got a tremendous amount of low end. I have a feeling that this is much better through the front end of a clean amp, but your mileage may vary. It's not bad like this at all. It's just a little dark. Dark Flame. Dark Flame. Maybe that's where the name comes from. Let's move on here. We have the Chopper Z. This is the last one. Let's check this out, and then I will tell you whether you should rip it or skip it. Let's go. Wow, we have a lot of output modes here. Oh, yes, and you have different output modes here. You have power amp, preamp. So you have your output mode. It's a dial, and if you go from here to here, that is preamp, and then power amp would be from there to there. We're going directly into a power amp here, so we're just gonna leave it like that. Stay up, please. Let's turn this guy on. Okay, so I think the output mode here, if the knob is all the way down, that is your preamp. And then if we go up, that's going into a power amp, which sounds better. If we go up further than that, that's like cab sim out. We'll just put it on full power amp mode. Let's turn our volume up. We also have a gate on this one, which is really nice. Very fast gate. There's the gate off, and then we can turn the gate all the way up and... It just clamps down right away. Here's just normal mode. Our gate is a little bit high there. It's clamping down a little bit early. Let's try turning the fat switch on. It really makes the mid-range like a little bit fatter. I mean, it's fat switch. That's what it's supposed to do, right? Fat boost. It does sound like it's boosting it. I like it this way the most, though. I think it sounds pretty good like that, actually. Let's put the dark thing in front of it. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Not my favorite sound ever, but it's pretty good. I think I just prefer the Chopper Z on its own. I think it's really cool that it has the option of putting it in front of an amplifier. You go to that preamp mode, you can hear it's like not as bright, it's not as like dynamic, but then you can put it in power amp mode too and use this thing as a preamp. I think that makes this pedal really cool. And the fact that it has a noise gate in it, yeah. I think it's just really cool. I think it's got a lot of cool features. Let's look these up and see how much they cost, because that's probably a big determination on whether or not I think you should rip it or skip it. Them. Oh wow. The Rigel preamp comes in at $69.99 on Amazon. That's super cheap, like for a preamp. And again, I really like the design of the Joyo pedals, like with the lights on them and stuff. I think they're unique. I think they look cool. It's a lot different than, you know, your traditional just pedal in a metal box sort of thing, you know? And they're built well. They're fully metal. So for 70 bucks, man, that's super cheap. Here, let's see the other ones. Okay. The Chopper Z pedal is also $70. Go figure. The Argos Overdrive comes in at $39.99 on Amazon. That is insane, dude. That is crazy. This one's not as well built. Is this plastic? I get confused sometimes. But still, you know, $39.99 for an overdrive pedal, dude. That's super, super cheap. And then the last one is this Dark Flame. The Dark Flame is $59.99 on Amazon. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on whether or not I think you should rip it or skip it. Because of the very low price, I would say rip it. I would for sure rip it, because especially with this like Argos Overdrive, it's $40, man. You can't really go wrong with that. You know, for a boost that has a gate built into it, like this is clearly a clone of the Precision Drive. Precision Drives are like $200 or something. you know? So if you're looking for an inexpensive alternative that isn't just like completely mocking it with its design, if you know what pedal I'm talking about, you know what pedal I'm talking about. But you know, if you're like, oh, I'd love to have a precision drive, but I can't really afford one, you can get one of these. And this is like the first pedal in a long time I've seen that actually has a 9-volt door on the back of it. That's really nice. So, $39.99, rip it. $59.99, I would also say rip it. Now, out of all of these pedals, this was probably my least favorite. I think this is a very like specific use case, and I'm not sure why they sent me like this selection of pedals, like if these pedals go together in a series or something like that. But I would say out of all these ones that they sent me, the Dark Flame was my favorite, but even then, at $59.99 on Amazon Prime, 2 day to your door, I think it's still a really good deal, especially if you're like a pedal guy and you like to mess around with various pedals. I think that this is a good deal. Moving on here to the preamps, the Rigel preamp. This is a really good preamp, man. I thought this one sounded really good. Now, this doesn't have quite the same feature set as the Chopper Z. They're a little bit different. The Chopper Z is more of just like a high gain tone. The Rigel preamp has a bunch of like modification switches, so you can get a lot more variation out of it. I feel like that is really what differentiates these two. But again, for like a preamp pedal, dude, $69.99 for a preamp pedal. It's very inexpensive as far as pedals go. So I would say if you like the Joyo stuff, these are definite rip-its. I really enjoyed the Bant amps, and this is the first thing that I've really tried since the Bant amps, I believe. It's been a long time, but I really, really liked the Bant amps. I thought the Bant amps were cool. They sounded great. They were an incredible value. And I would say that the Joyo pedals are an incredible value as well. $39.99, dude. All right, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, leave me a like, leave me a comment. Special thanks to Joyo for sending out these pedals for me to demo for you guys. If you really like what I do here on my channel, consider joining my patrons or my members, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.